Good evening, Fernwood. It is your man of many t-shirts, Neil, here, and it's time for us to put it on with another episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Today we are watching episode 181 from December 13th, 1976. Last week was brutal, so let's take a look. Mary started the week of two minds about Annie's bisexuality. On the one hand, she's really curious about it. On the other hand, she's terrified that Annie might have a romantic interest in her. Mary visits Annie's trailer only to find Merle there, and Merle comes onto her very strongly. It's kind of creepy. In the middle of the week, Annie comes to Mary to make clear that she has no erotic or romantic intentions towards her. They end cuddling as Tom enters the room and he leaves angrily. Later that night, as Mary is trying to go to sleep, Tom comes in and tries to have sex with her. Mary says no, though Tom keeps pushing past her very clear boundary. It's a complicated moment, though it is clear that Mary feels violated in this. The only way that she can get him to stop is by kneeing him in the groin. The next morning, Tom is in a better mood, though he does yell at Mary because she is not keeping up with the Joneses in the way that he would like. And these two problems, the sexual assault and that Tom is obsessed with keeping up with the Joneses, is what she talks to Dr. Medwick about at the end of the week. Kathy is staying with the Adamses, who plan to adopt her baby. While practicing for natural childbirth, Brian got excited and started kissing Kathy. Christine walked in and left in a jealous huff. Loretta and Jody found out from Dr. Fracas that Charlie was released from jail and has hooked up with a mobster. After returning home, Loretta finds out from Mary that Charlie visited, but when he found out that Jody and Loretta were on the road, he said that he was going very far away. Mary did not seem to pick up on or relay that Charlie was considering jumping off of a very high bridge. Martha and HB have been getting closer. Now Martha is working as an undercover hooker for the Fernwood PD. Merle asked Wanda to marry him on election day. She's agreed, though she has also given him room to be as lustful as he wants toward other women as long as she gets a little bit of him. Merle asked Loretta to sing during his campaign on television, somewhat as a way of reaching Charlie, and just before Loretta is about to go on stage, she kisses Jody goodbye. And then later on the telecast, Merle gives his appeal and says that he just wants Fernwood to look into his eyes and vote for him. And it goes somewhat like this. Charlie was on the road with the mobster named Sue. Though he spent most of his episodes sitting on a bridge considering suicide, he was met by a wolf dog who calmed him down and gave him a chance to get some things off of his chest. As he is ready to do his final jump, he hears Loretta's voice on the radio and he rejoices, and that's when Sue finds him and grabs him. And once the two are clearly safe, Sue describes his life as a mobster, though that goes completely over Charlie's head. Sue explains that he would like to be in touch with a superstar to impress his godfather, and of course that is Loretta. And things have gotten really ugly for the Gimbles. Pat revealed to her mother that Garth is still beating her, though it's a little more hidden now. But she is very afraid that Garth is going to go very, very far. And then when Garth found out that little Garth had been suffering from nighttime incontinence, Garth threatened Patty's life. Like I said, everyone, this was a very rough week. Let's see how this one starts.
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman!
Ladies and gentlemen, the press conference for Mr. Merle Jeter, candidate for mayor, is about to begin. But first, we have with us the very, very lovely Mrs. Rittenhouse, who has prepared a statement, and she'll follow that up with answering your questions. So, before we get started, may I ask what publications do you represent?
Publications?
Okay, I'll ask the question again. What publications do you represent? Ma'am, may I ask you your name and the publication you represent, please?
Sadie Beery,
and I read the Ladies' Home Journal.
Well, no doubt. But I must know what publication you represent. Who sent you, dear?
Well, I was next door at the supermarket buying some roller towels and some Windex. And I talked to the checker, and he told me there was a press conference here, and I ain't never been to one, so I came by.
Okay. How about the gentleman down here in the front?
Roger O'Rourke and I work down the road at the gas station. I stopped by to see Mildred here, and she told me about the press conference. We've never seen one live before, except on television with that Kissinger fellow.
Is there anyone here from a newspaper? You, sir.
I just came in to use the John.
Well, there's no light in there, but good luck. How about you?
Harold Clemens, the Fernwood Courier.
Good. I thought this was going to be a statewide conference.
Fernwood? They haven't had a statewide press conference since the Millinocket Dam broke and 60 houses were flooded.
I asked for statewide, Garth.
I wired every newspaper in Ohio.
Well, how did you sign it?
Garth Kimball, what else?
Oh, if you were the editor of the Dayton Free Press, would you come all the way to Fernwood on the strength of Garth Kimball?
A day early.
You should have signed at Rittenhouse. At least he was a state official. If Merle comes in here and finds there's only one newspaper man here, he's going to be furious.
He'll never find out.
Oh, I hope so. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Merle Jeter.
Hi. Good to see you. Hi, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's mighty sweet of you. Thank you very much. And I want to thank you for coming over here today. I am Merle Jeter. I am running for mayor of Fernwood. And I'm sure that some of you have seen me on the tube before, in which case you know what I stand for. But I just come from a little walk down Main Street there, and I went into all the houses along the way there, just talking to the folks. And you'd be amazed at how many of them asked me the question, what do you stand for, Merle? How come there are no big parades, no big crowds, no big rallies and things like that? Well, my answer to that is that I want the people, and I mean each and every person in this town, to get to know me personally. Because that's the way I feel about Fernwood. Personal. Okay. Now then, any questions from anybody?
Yeah, Mr. Jeter.
Are you the fellow running for mayor?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Well, I want to know, what are you going to do about public facilities?
Well, I plan a myriad of public parks and parade grounds.
No, I'm talking about plumbing facilities. My God, man, do you know what goes on in there?
Well, certainly nothing is closer to me than the need for cleanliness in our public facilities. Our bodily functions are actually our earliest and most vital functions. So I promise you a little city here just full of public facilities that'll be clean for our clean folks.
Mr. Jeter?
Merle, I think you should take that gentleman in back.
And with a hat there.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It's about time.
Watch that pencil. Yeah.
Mr. Jeter, thank you for recognizing me. I am the only authorized newspaper man here, however.
You what?
I'm with the Fernwood Courier. Where these other people came in from, I don't know. I'm the only newspaper man here, though.
No. Wait. What the hell am I standing up here making a speech for then?
We try to get everybody.
Now, what are you bozos sitting out there pretending to be newspaper people for then?
Please.
Now, wait a minute.
Merle,
Wait a minute.
They're voters.
What?
Merle. They are voters.
You know, the fact that you people can pretend the way you do is just another one of many demonstrations that I've seen in Fernwood of the ingenuity and the cleverness of you people. I think that the way you greeted me when I come through that door a while ago, that kind of warmth and that kind of openness, I'll tell you what it does to me. It warms my heart, and I mean that. I mean it from the heart. And what it makes me want to do is just come out there with you right now. In fact, I'm going to do it. I'm going to come out there and shake the hand of each and every one of you. Hey, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. You got a tear in your eye there. Thank you, man. How are you?
Mr. Jeter,
Good to
Mr.
see you.
Jeter.
Yeah, go on with your questions.
Yeah,
Don't let
would
us
it be
stop you.
possible to have an in-depth interview with you at some quieter place?
How about 10 o'clock in the morning anywhere you say? Is that good enough for you?
Yes,
Huh?
sir. Yes, sir.
right.
The Fernwood Courier?
All right, you got it, partner. Huh? All right. Hey, thank you, people, for coming, really. That's about it. Thank you so
Dear,
much.
excuse me, but you've forgotten the most important thing.
Oh, Clemens! minute. Hey, you still here? Come here. I'd like to give you a little scoop for your paper tomorrow, if you don't mind. Miss Rittenhouse and I are going to get married. How about that? Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks again.
Merle, I was wondering, well, if maybe tonight you could come over to my place for an engagement party, you know, just the two of us.
What are you talking about, Wanda? We're not married. Wait a minute. Marriage is a sacred bond.
Oh, come on, Merle. You're not that old-fashioned. I know you better than that.
Well, look, I'm not telling you that I, haven't been around a little bit. In fact, you know some of the places I've been around, but...
I do.
Wanda, when I marry, that's it. It's it for keeps, and I mean that. Besides that, hey, look, I don't want you to miss your wedding night and all that aching and the long line.
Mr. Jeter, is Rittenhouse spelled Writtenhouse?
No. And the anticipation and the, all that kind of expectation. Oh, my gosh. I mean, you got to remember, that's going to be our first night together,
Yes.
Wanda. Okay?
When you put it that way, it does sound wonderful, and I guess I wouldn't want to miss it either.
All right. That's my girl. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh, those publicity photographs.
Oh,
Good
Merle.
night, I'm going to be late for them. Look, hold the fort for me, will you? Okay, I'll be
yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
If I had a cup, I might say I was coming by to borrow some sugar.
Sit down. I was just about to make some tea. Would you like some?
Oh, no. I can only stay for a minute, really.
Oh, I thought there was supposed to be a press conference tonight.
Yeah. Oh, don't turn the music off. Please, it's nice.
Isn't it? I love it. Oh, so what about the press conference?
Well, it was short. What you might call a really short press conference.
Wanda, is anything wrong?
Oh, no, really. I guess I'm just a little embarrassed, you see. Well, I came by here tonight to ask you a question.
Oh, okay. Shoot.
What is Merle like?
I don't think I quite understand the question.
Well, you see, I know that the two of you have had a relationship, and
And you haven't?
Not like yours.
Do you mean to tell me that you're going to be married and he hasn't come near you?
Oh, no, it's not Merle. Oh, no, it's me. Oh, God knows it's not Merle. Well, you know Merle. Well, it's just that, well, I guess I'm old-fashioned. I kind of like the idea of the wedding night being the first night.
That is unbelievable. Oh, it's very sweet, but unbelievable.
Yeah, it is foolish, isn't it?
Well, of course it's not foolish. I mean, if that's the way you feel.
Oh, I do, and Merle has been simply wonderful about it. He's very understanding.
You know something? You're an 8.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, well, it's just a crazy thing I've done since I was a little girl. I think of people as numbers.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I've always done it. And you are definitely an 8. You know, complete, all together, no rough edges.
Oh, thank you.
My mother was a 7. You know, she was sort of harsh, angular. My daddy was a 3. Do you know that he could have been an 8 if he hadn't married my mother?
Violet Nestor was a 0.
Who?
Violet Nestor. You're not going to believe this, but I used to do exactly the same thing
Oh,
when
I
I was a
don't
kid.
believe it.
Yes, I always thought of people as numbers. And Violet Nestor was this definite 0. She was this skinny kid with this awful wispy hair, and eyelashes so pale that her eyes always looked so yes. She was like a line, going in a circle, leading no place and meaning nothing.
I haven't ever in my whole life met anyone who did that. I mean, this is amazing.
What was the smartest kid in your class?
Oh, no contest. Clearly a 9.
Mine too.
Oh,
Mine
no.
too. Yeah, she was all head, and to make matters worse, her name had to be Merriam-Webster. I don't believe this.
I don't know.
What about your best friend?
Oh, my best friend. Now, she was a 6.
Yeah.
She was a 6, and she had her feet solidly on the ground. Well, except for just once in a while, a bit of her went shooting off into the stars.
Mine was a 4, all pointy edges and complaining all the time.
I really think
This is terrific, isn't it?
Oh.
But suddenly I feel terrible because I lied to you.
Well, what do you mean by thinking of people as numbers?
Oh, no, that's the truth. God knows I do that all the time. No, I lied to you about Merle and me. See, it wasn't my idea to wait till the wedding night. It was Merle's. He just avoids me all the time, and I don't know why.
Oh, I see. Wanda, you didn't have to tell me that.
Oh, no, I wanted to. I just don't know what to do about it.
Well, I mean, maybe he wants to make the wedding night the first night.
Merle?
Well, I mean, maybe he respects you too much.
Confidentially, wouldn't it make you a little nervous to be the only woman in Fernwood that Merle has that kind of respect for?
Well, you are the only woman in Fernwood that he's going to marry. Now, I don't think you have a thing to worry about. Oh, you're a lovely woman. Everything's going to be just fine.
Well, thanks for being so understanding. Boy, I really needed someone to talk to.
Sure you don't want a cup of tea?
Oh, no, I really have to be going. I have this huge list of wedding announcements I have to make out. You know, it's so funny. Tonight, when I left the Capri Lounge, I had no idea where I was going to go. And, well, I ended up here.
I'm glad you did.
Oh, so am I. But I really shouldn't have come by here to ask you about Merle.
Wanda, that's not why you came by.
Oh, yes, of course it is.
That's your second lie. But don't worry. I'm not going to be a threat to you.
Bye.
Operator, I would like to call Rome, Italy. Are you Italian? No? So then what should I do? Oh, well, I would like to call a Mr. Gore Vidal. No, that's two names. It's Gore / Vidal. No, it's just forget the slash. It's GORE/VIDAL. No, I'm sorry, I don't know the number. No, I don't have the exact address. It's Italy. Have I helped you at all? Good. Then you'll call me? Okay, thank you. I will wait right here by the phone. Yes. Okay, bye. I'm sorry, I can't answer the door now. Whoever it is, just come in.
Hey, Mary. Hi.
Merle, hi.
How you doing?
What are you doing in my kitchen?
Well, you said come in.
Yeah, but not you. I mean, you shouldn't be in my kitchen. I mean, if I had known it was you, I would never have said come in.
No, I just need to use your phone a minute.
Oh, you can't. It's tied up now. I don't think you should even be in my house.
Wait a minute, Mary. I've been in your house before.
Oh, yeah, but that's with a whole lot of people. It's different, Merle. I mean, alone, it's like a whole, Merle, you're a very lustful person, and I'm expecting a phone call here.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the lust. I tell you, I do pray to the Lord every day. I ask Him for forgiveness, and I go on fasting for 3 days for every 2 days of sinning. Now I'm doing that every time. Is that an important call?
Yeah, it's very important. Could you wait here just 1 second? I just have to stand for there. I just want to run and get a Kleenex. I'll be right back, okay?
Yeah.
And listen, if the phone rings, don't answer it. Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot. Listen, Merle, I don't care how much you fasted. I mean, you really hurt Charlie. And Wanda's one of my best friends. So I think you should just go. Hello? Hello? That's funny, it didn't even ring.
Look, Mary, I tell you what, I'm just gonna stand over here, okay, by the door? In fact, I'll stand in the doorway till you finish your call, all right?
Fine, that's fine. And I'll just be, here. Hello? Oh, operator, Gore, don't start talking yet. Don't start talking because I really don't want to waste any of these 3 minutes. Merle, would you go over and get me my egg timer from the stove? Okay, could you hurry up? Hold on, operator, hold on. Right there, that one. That's very good. Thank you very much. Okay, now could you go back to the door? Yeah. Okay, operator, just 1 minute, please. Okay. Gore. Go. to talk to you. Oh, it's Mary Hartman. Now, Gore, listen to me. I'm on an egg timer, but I just want to tell you that you will be receiving in a plain brown paper bag my journal, which is unfinished. No, Merle, try not to listen to this because it's a very personal call, okay?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, Gore, I have decided not to write with you anymore. Gore. Oh, Gore, please don't cry. Oh, Static? Oh, I'm sorry. It's just very hard to tell transatlantic. No, the reason I've decided not to write for you anymore is really for two reasons. First of all, I have nothing to write about, and second of all, just so much is happening in Fernwood that I just simply don't have the time to write. I mean, you would not believe what is going on in this town here. I mean, to begin with, Tom is making more money than he's ever made before, and so is everybody else, but I just think he's spending it faster than it's coming in, and I think he's getting himself into a lot of trouble. And also, he's acting very strange about everything. Like he doesn't like the way I dress anymore. Gore, are you sure that's not crying I hear? It's not laughing. Oh, good. Okay, good. Now, so anyway, on all of this, my new best friend Pat, I think, is a victim of wife beating. And Gore, to top it all, there is a bisexual parked right in my mother's driveway. No, bye! Oh, no, operator! No, I'm not hanging up. It's just an expression. Gore? Oh, thank God, yeah. No, she's definitely an AC/DC because she's also sleeping with a man who happens to be standing in my doorway. Okay, I'll be right with you, Merle. Okay? Anyway, Gore, everything and anything and everything is happening on top of everything and anything here, and it's just why I just really can't think of anything to write about that would interest anybody at all. But Gore, I just want you to remember one thing, okay? I mean, just because I give up writing now, it doesn't mean that you have to. I mean, you can write, you will write, and you will write. In fact, I even came up with an idea for you, which you can feel free to take or leave. The Civil War. Well, then leave it. And Gore, listen, if you ever want my advice about anything, and I mean anything at all, because I'm really appreciative of the time you took. I'm sorry, I'm just not creative. But if you ever need anything, please feel free to call. After 6, because it'll cost you less. Oh, I knew you'd understand, Gore. And I just wanted to say, oh, you have to go? Oh, Gore. Arrivederci. That was Gore Vidal. He was real nice to me.
I can't believe that.
That he's nice to me?
No. No, that Tom objects to anything about you. Especially the way you dress.
Well, he's been so nice to me.
And it's so nice for me to be standing here looking at you dressed like that. You know what I mean?
No. What do you mean?
No, you don't want to hear this.
I do. I do want to hear it.
Well, first of all, you know, your hair. I love the way you wear your hair. I like those braids. I think it looks very clean and very wholesome. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
Well, I think it looks beautiful, so. As far as the dresses are concerned, I don't even know where to start with the dresses. And it makes me glad to just be standing here looking at you.
Makes me feel real good.
Why are you standing in the doorway? You want to come in and sit down? Tea. I think we should have a cup of tea. Would you like a cup of tea?
Be good.
This one had a lot of emotions, not necessarily as heavy as last week. I think it was a little lighter, but it was still a bit of a roller coaster for me. And it started with Garth introducing Merle at his press conference, though no one in the audience is press until we see Harold Clemens, who we met way back in episode 1 and who we really haven't seen much since the very first weeks of season 1. Most of our news has been covered by Clete Meisenheimer, so it was a thrill to see Harold. I was actually wondering where that character went, just earlier this week. So Merle, once he realizes there's only one person from the press, he goes just a little bit explosive. Then Wanda points out to him that these are voters, and then he turns into a populist, goes and shakes the hands of people, and they let him get away with it. Harold sets up an appointment with Merle to talk at the Fernwood Courier. I expect we will see that scene. And then Wanda invites Merle to come over to her place so that they can have a private celebration, though Merle puts her off. And I'll point out that just a couple of weeks ago, Merle made very clear before he asked Wanda to marry him that he didn't find her sexually attractive. Though in this case, he puts it off saying that he wants the first night to be special. So that's something that we have to look forward to. And then Wanda wanders in the middle of the night and finds Annie's trailer and starts to vent towards Annie about the relationship with Merle, and at first hides it, though she does come clean later. To me, the nugget of this scene is that Annie and Wanda connect, and they're both bisexual women. Wanda made very clear that in her youth, she had some dalliances with some young ladies, and also she gets really sad when Merle says homophobic things, which we've only seen once on screen, but I imagine he does this more often than just that. And then Annie is, as pansexual as you can get before the word pansexual exists, but they connect that numbers thing, that they see people as numbers, and apparently I thought at first it was a numerology thing, but no, it's literally just that they see people that way. So it shows some kind of kinship between the two of them, or some kind of compatibility, and I feel like that is really the nugget of the scene, that we're watching two people connect. And it would be a couple. We're not seeing necessarily erotic or romantic things going on, though Annie seems to think that might happen, and Wanda's not totally against it, but they don't speak on it. So here, I think last season it was the McCulloughs, and they were already on the verge of getting married, in a relationship, but we never saw them be affectionate towards each other. And in this case, we've got two women who are finding out about each other and meeting each other, and it's such a different position in the relationship to discover feelings. Now, we don't know where this is going to go, but I do want to compare that. I feel like Tippy Toes has really taken the slot that the McCulloughs had, and I don't mean that they're of equal weight, but there's something, the space in this show that was held by the McCulloughs is now held by Tippy Toes. And yeah, I get that the two men who were in a relationship last season never had a chance to be affectionate towards each other. Like, we talked in the comments about how that would have been completely unacceptable in the 1970s. And yeah, two hot women, we accept it, but it's clear that there's some affection between the two and affinity, and we'll see where this goes. Now Wanda has someone to vent to, and a connection. So yeah, forward we go. And then the final scene, speaking of connections, Mary is trying to reach out to Gore Vidal, and at that same time Merle comes in, and her first reaction to Merle is get out of here, which I think is apt and honest. I think Mary is as straight with Merle as she is with anybody in this show, and we know how little Mary likes to say her actual feelings. But in this case, she is clear when Merle comes in that you gotta go. But he only goes as far as the doorway when the phone rings, and then we see that Mary is not going to be writing in her journal anymore, and that she feels like the world is too much for her to be writing. Now, as a writer myself, I feel like when things are going crazy, then that's what we write about. Maybe Mary will write later, but that's not now. In any case, it's a little bit sad for me that Mary feels that she can't use this as an outlet. On the other hand, we know that she felt like privacy that she loves to protect would go away if she were writing this book, so I can see some ambivalence there. I don't know that there's a real reason for her to stop writing, but that's what Mary feels, so that's what she's doing. And then she reveals all of these secrets that she knows to Merle, because Merle didn't go far, and Mary just asked him to stop listening, which, that's not how it works. But Merle knows first, and I think this was the thing that hit him hardest, that Tom objected to the fact that Mary was staying the same, that she was wearing the same outfits, and that Tom is upwardly mobile now. And that wasn't verbalized in the scene, but that's what's going on. And other secrets as well, about Tippy Toes, which I don't think he was bothered by much. He is homophobic, but that's not how he's going to view Annie. But after that, after the phone call, Merle, his one thought is that creepy thought of how he observes Mary. On the other hand, I view it as creepy, but for Mary, from Mary's point of view, it validates her. She doesn't have to change, and who she is just right. Yes, it's a complicated thing, but that's where Merle and Mary connect. He goes from being persona non grata to let's have a cup of tea. And that's where we end the episode, everyone. Like I said, there were a lot of feelings for me in this. Yeah, I expect you'll have some feelings too, which I hope you will share down in the comments. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for putting it on with me. We will see you tomorrow night in Fernwood.